E aí pessoal, estamos aqui no aeroporto Salgado Filho. Dani e Dave Mordanova estão chegando, então a gente veio aqui recepcionar eles e na sequência vamos sair de repente pegar alguma coisa para comer, né? E amanhã a gente vai lá na FT conhecer a sede da Fueltech, levar esses monstros aí da arrancada para conhecer a origem da ICU, a origem de tudo. Feito? Vamos lá.
What's happening, baby? I don't know. What's happening, man?
Good to see you.
Yeah, you too.
What's up, man?
What's up, buddy?
How you doing?
What's happening, man? How are you?
Okay, so we're
All right, so we're in Brazil, right?
Oh, here, right?
Oh yeah, we'll eat.
Have a nice
Look at this. We'll all eat.
Bear with me.
Is it a good one?
Yes, good one.
Oh man, that'd be sweet if he was in that bus. That's what we should have.
Oh, you want one of those?
Fucking right, I do.
You want a cake?
I want a bus. Oh, that's what I would drive it every day in Oklahoma. I don't care. It's full up, guys.
What'd you ride here in?
Oh, piece of cake.
Oh yeah! Horse try!
Like a glove.
Horse try, look at this. Does it fit?
Yeah.
Can you guys breathe? Kinda. Então tá, vamos pra pista lá. Pista de comida. Então tá, pessoal. Trouxe pro pessoal aqui encher o pandulho, né? Poder dormir bem. So how you guys like it?
I'm full. I know that.
It's a good start?
Yeah, it's a good start. Good start.
Então tá, eu perguntei pra eles se eles gostaram, eles adoraram. E eles falaram que foi um bom começo. Então tá, já que foi um bom começo, eu vou levar eles pro hotel. E amanhã a gente vai pra Fueltech. Vamos conhecer a fábrica de sonhos lá.
We always like to start out with a full belly.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Now you're gonna have a
Now
good
I'm
night's
asleep like a
sleep.
rock. That was good, man. Good. Yeah, let's go in. Check it out. Welcome. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, where's my bag?
Yeah, exactly. I didn't know to bring our suitcase.
That's probably why they wanted me to leave my bag in the office.
Yeah.
That's for my snowmobile, right?
450.
Oh.
This one.
I'm selling it.
So what would the 250 be for?
It's our
They
older
were-
generation.
They're previous. They mainly the 2003 version with a new case. That's the previous generation we had, like 18 years ago.
That's what started it all?
Kind
Basically?
of. Yeah, I'll show you the original one. I have.
Really?
Yeah, no, I'd like to see that.
Yeah, the OG. The OG.
Yeah, where's the first one?
That's the OG.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah,
But it still had,
the same absence.
Yeah.
That's like sideways.
what year was this?
2003, 4.
Yeah.
What was that guy?
Hold it back up.
Yeah, I mean, look at that.
Okay, what do we got here?
This would be the. Go ahead.
This is number one. This is the
No,
first
number
one.
one.
This is original. 2003, 2004. I mean, even in 2003, 2004, think about that.
Yeah, no, that's.
Like,
Yeah, we don't
I didn't
even-
know anything about none of this in 2003, 2004.
You
And
don't
then
even.
this is well, this is the not the
Late.
latest version. We run an FT600, but this is basically the same as what we run versus the very first one.
Same map sensor
Yeah,
all these years.
that's awesome.
Very few people max them out. 87
yeah,
87
max.
pounds.
Yeah, what is
How
it?
87.
I'm getting close.
Yeah.
You're halfway
Yes.
You're halfway there.
Just a number. Remember,
It's
just a number.
It's just a number.
Yeah, repeat the mantra.
Assembly line. We start that big machine over there. So this is all the sample, like the product. This is like chili.
There's a board.
They just come here. The boards are here, chili seals. Then they go through this machine where we actually apply the fasting sauce. So actually, goes inside. It comes after that. It comes here. So this is already with solder pad, like for welding the components, like a soldering compound.
Yeah. This one puts that on there?
Yeah, this puts that on. And you see like there's holes and stuff, so that's like it prints the compound to the board. That's just where it needs.
It's like a CNC machine. You can watch it all day.
That's what
Yeah,
it
you
is.
can just like
So this is the FT600. This is the unit that I have in my car. This is what it starts out. Well, not really starts out as, but at this point of the process, this is what I have in my car. This right here is your boost, and then everything plugs in. This is how you hook it up to your computer. Amazing. Good? You need those. Good. Yeah, no, I know. I need this to read my text messages. All right, I can't. Oh, wow, yeah. I was going to say, okay, I can't figure it out.
What is that for?
Wow.
So you can see. Yeah. Thanks, man.
He's good.
Good?
Oh yeah.
Got it. Right on. Nice to meet you guys, man.
Thanks.
Good job. Oh yeah, nice. Nice. Yeah, this would be my office too. If I ran this place.
Not bad. Guys, have a seat. Oh, these are the older units. We've been buying them. If people have them like on the box.
Really?
Sometimes we buy them like they were, you know. Is the original manual?
Oh, this is the original one?
Yeah, the ones like these like people had them in box, like brand new. With
Oh yeah.
never use it.
Even for that, look how thick this still is.
I wrote
thing still does
every
a lot.
single word of this manual. I wrote every single word of this manual.
You can tell.
I can't read a word of it either.
Hey, good job.
Yeah, a lot of work.
All that work you did afforded this guy right here this big badass office.
Yeah.
Nice job, man.
Yeah, perfect. I'm glad.
Yeah.
Anderson, the guy behind it,
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, Fuel Tech is amazing, and it's taken the world over.
If you're stupid like us
Yeah.
and you want a fast car, you're a moron and you come up the way that we came up, we don't really care. We're not book smart. We're not computer smart. We're not necessarily the best tuners in the world,
No, okay,
but we can
yeah.
get our shit down the road.
We know
you
enough to make us dangerous.
Then Fuel Tech is probably for you, because I can't do any of those things, but my car's pretty damn fast.
Fuel Tech
yeah.
makes it
So-
possible.
Yeah.
Good job.
Appreciate it, man.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it.
Então tá, né? A gente trouxe o pessoal do Stuart Laws aqui pro Brasil para eles conhecerem a Fuel Tech, para conhecer o Velopark, o Festival Velopark. A gente vai aproveitar esse momento aí. Vamos fazer algumas perguntinhas, vamos tentar conhecer eles melhor, né? Vamos ver o que a gente consegue saber deles que a gente às vezes não vê no show, a gente não teria uma oportunidade de conhecer. Well, guys, welcome. Thank you so much for coming here to Brazil,
Thanks for
coming
having
to
us.
Fuel Tech. You know, it's amazing for all of us to have such great racers here and
Racers.
friends. And we all curious about some of the stuff, right? But like we don't see on the show. Sometimes we don't talk about it, but we still, we like to know more about you guys, right? Where this all car racing, where this all started? Like, did you guys grow up on an environment that was like that? Like one day a friend just came up and like, look at my car.
Go ahead.
For me, it was my father and my brother. Like, my whole family's been in the cars, and my older brothers, always tearing up something, always wanting to race something, so of course I'm going to follow suit. So, and you got your dad that was real passionate about cars and working on them and making them faster. It just kind of gets pushed onto you.
Sure.
So, yeah.
I think that's where most of everybody's passion for cars. I mean, race cars, show cars, any kind of cars, I'm just passionate about any car. The racing didn't really come from my dad, but the passion for cars did. My dad had a body shop, and so ever since I was little, I remember going to his shop, restoring old cars, working on cars. Well, basically I swept the floor. But eventually, once I grew up, we didn't have a whole lot of money, so any cars that we had, we bought beaters and we always fixed them up. So, and that's how we ever had anything nice is doing it all ourselves. You know, you can't really source any of that stuff out whenever, if you have the know-how, you don't have the money. You know, you got to do it. So we pretty much did everything, and I learned all that from my dad. And then basically the first car that I ever built was a '69 Camaro, and I was going to take it to car shows. Like, we fixed it up, we did everything but paint it, and I was on my way to making it really nice, and then I got into a street race. And it had a Roots blower on it, and it was a street race that actually, it was the first time I ever met Chief. That he set this race up for me on the streets. And I went out, I outran this car that we raced. I got a $500 ticket for the first street race I ever got into. And then after that, all the street car, all the car show, all the pretty, all the chrome, all that stuff out the door.
Right out the window.
Right out the window. And then after that, performance parts. I started ordering performance parts. And by then I was old enough, I had my own job and I could afford to buy my own stuff. So after that, it was all racing. Car show stuff went out the window.
How long ago was that?
15
You came in, yeah.
15 years
About 15
ago,
years
probably.
ago when he
There
came
was
in
a
to
big
see-
race scene around Oklahoma City before I got there.
He was kind of late to the
I
party.
came in, I was a little bit behind on coming to the party, but I remember the first cash days I ever went to, which was the first one in Oklahoma City, but I didn't know any of you guys then. Like,
But you went to the first one in Texas?
No, I missed that one. I missed the first cash days in Texas. I came to the second one at Cougar,
That's right.
and I just stumbled upon it. It was one of those deals where at that time I still partied a lot. I still went out and drank every night, and it was cars that got me out of all that, you know. And so I stumbled upon this, everybody turning down this one road, and I didn't know what it was. So I turned down that road and I saw what was going on there, and I was like, wow. And it was amazing. It was like, I mean, for somebody who, to put it in perspective, it would be like somebody coming into Dom and them racing, you know what I mean? Somebody just stumbling upon Fast and the Furious. That's what it was like to me, because it was like this underground world that I didn't know anything about. And I saw it, and I stayed there the rest of the night until it was over. I mean, Aaron, you were with me, right? We were in the excursion, or the Escalade, and we stumbled upon the deal. We found a place to park. We got out, and we just stood back and watched. I didn't know anybody there.
And you were racing there?
I was racing.
Yeah, Dave was
I raced in
racing.
every
Chief was
contest.
racing. Who else?
Ronnie Pace.
Ronnie
White
Pace.
Boy.
Yeah, all the
Boosted.
guys from Texas. I think Booger was racing at
DJ,
that
yeah.
time.
Guys from
Cracker,
Tulsa, yeah.
Cracker. All the guys from Tulsa were racing, and it was one of those deals.
A lot of
that-
small tire cars.
A lot of small tire cars then, and I saw that, and I was like, this is what I want to do, you know. And so, ever since then, making the car fast was priority number one, and drinking and going out and partying and all that stuff is over. I just literally quit right then.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So, hey, you know, if I wouldn't have developed this passion for racing, I don't know, you know, where I'd be. I might still be at the bar.
And so back in the time, you guys had the job to actually be able to have the race car. And how they're placed today. You guys have the show, you guys have the racing that everyone knows and see. Do you guys do anything else? Or like racing is 100% you guys leaving?
It's racing's 100%. I don't have anything else.
I mean, I own an automotive repair shop.
Yeah, that he actually still does work out.
I do work out of it.
I have a shop, but I pretty much work on my stuff there. So,
I have customers.
before the show, I had a pretty good job. I built Powerline. I had a Powerline company, and we hit a lot of hurricanes. We did a lot of, any kind of distribution Powerline stuff. So I had a good enough job before the show that I was in a pretty decent place. And I thought, once this show started, by season 2, there was no keeping a full-time job,
That's hard.
especially owning a business that didn't evolve around cars or automotive stuff.
Season 1, most
You
of us
couldn't do it.
swore a lot of his Powerline shirts. His company.
Really?
A few of us would
Because we
wear his
couldn't.
shirts.
Nobody had anything that we could wear
Right.
unless you owned the company.
Sure.
They couldn't sign. They wouldn't sign off on it. Well, I owned the company, so I signed off on it. So like Dave would come up to me and go, "Hey man, it's freezing out here, man. You got something I can wear?" And I'd throw him a hoodie, you know. So on season 1, you can go back and see all kinds of Powerline
Powerline
shirts,
yeah.
you know, and that's why, you know. But by season 2, it got to where it was so much filming that you couldn't keep a regular job. So not if you filmed as much as some of us did,
Sure.
you know. And so I always thought, you know, I mean, I remember me and my wife having a talk about it. You know, let's do this. If something happens and it doesn't pan out, we can always go back to doing what we were doing. But who gets this opportunity to do this? You know, and it's what 8 years later,
Yep.
and it's still going.
I
you
worked
know?
for the state of Oklahoma. So you got retirement, 401k, you got
Yeah.
benefits, you got insurance, you got all that stuff. And I did that for 4 seasons.
Oh,
And that was hard to give up. Like,
Oh, I
His
imagine.
insurance and
Yeah,
Yeah, but
benefits
he
and
was
retirement.
always asking off and stuff, like,
Yes.
like
Yeah.
you know, and
Or you couldn't do nothing until you was off work at 4 o'clock.
Sure.
You know, you're like, well, let's go do this. I'm like, I can't because I got to work till 4. So I did it for 4 seasons. And then,
And then you realize, like,
yeah, it's hard.
I think there's actually only one guy who still has a job, and it's a full blown, and it's Doc, right? Isn't Doc the only one who's
Same as
still?
me.
Yeah, but he's got a semi
But he's
Company.
He
that he
Never
still
there.
runs and manages the place.
yeah. Just like me. But he's probably there
that
as much
was
as I am.
but that was his business whenever we
Right.
started this deal.
Right.
sure.
And how really the first season really happened, or how did the guys came to you?
All the catch days we did,
Okay.
we actually had a guy come in and film them all. 13.
You
Kyle,
guys had-
Yeah.
Okay.
Kyle from 1320 Video.
Oh,
Yeah, and
Oh,
Big
yeah.
Rob had a lot of
And Big
videos out
Rob,
there.
yes.
You know,
And they would
stuff
all go
that
on
we did.
YouTube.
Sure.
Well, that's Pilgrim's
they-
seen the videos.
They contacted Chief and was like, and back then we had a forum that everybody used to go on, and it was
Midwest
Midwest Streetcars, and it was a forum where you could go on there, you know, like Yellow Bullet,
Yeah.
you know, same thing. We had that, and they ended up contacting Chief on there because Chief ran the page.
Mm-hmm.
And so they ended up contacting him on there, and you know, we thought it was bullshit. We thought that it was cops,
Cops.
you know. And so pretty much for the first couple of months, Chief's like, piss off, cops, you know, because they're like, we need to know where you guys race, all the names of other people that race with you guys, you know, and if you know us well enough, we're like, yeah, right, we're not that stupid, you know. And I'm be honest with you, when the whole thing first started, I felt like I had already done pretty well in my life, and I told Chief, I'm good. I don't want to do it. You know, I don't care about it. I don't want to do this. I love the stuff that we do now, because basically my job was pretty, on a bad day at my old job, somebody would die. You know, that's the possibilities of working with power lines. And racing took my mind off of that. It's like there's nothing else going on in the world while you're racing, you know? And that was what I loved about it. And it was just my getaway. It wasn't something that I wanted to do for a living. You know, I didn't care about doing it for a living. I made pretty good money doing other things. It was my getaway. And I didn't want to do it, you know, and I'm not going to say he talked me into it.
But he
you
talked
know?
him into it.
But,
He
but
talked a lot of us into it.
eventually it was a deal where once the group said that they were going to do it, they wasn't really going to do it without me. You know, I mean, I feel like I had a pretty big following. Yeah, y'all would have. I wouldn't allow y'all to do it without me. I was going to do it if they were going to do it. You know what I mean? But it was one of those deals where I feel like not necessarily me, but my car already had a pretty big following before the show, and I felt like I needed to be there. I needed to be part of it. So, and I have no regrets.
If you can
No.
dream, how could you ever dream you come to another country
No.
and
No.
have so many fans or so many people over the world? Because
I still
know
don't understand
if you
it.
guys realize how many people is actually following you guys. I mean, you do see some of the internet, but every place in the world you walk in,
But it's
you
hard
probably
to-
can.
It's
cannot
hard to
walk.
step out of yourself and see that.
Yeah.
Like I still see
Yeah.
Sean as
Yeah.
Sean.
So I can see that actually pretty much from you guys everything evolves around racing or cars.
right? It's pretty much like that.
Mhm.
Something that people question us, like they see you guys racing some cars, right? Mostly your cars, right? You have two, they're almost the same, you know. You have one that's almost the same from the previous ones that crashed, right?
Like,
But like,
old
what do you guys actually drive daily? Like, do you guys have like a car that you guys like driving daily, or you guys drive whatever just to drive?
I've got a lot of
wide
cars.
varieties.
Yeah.
Like I got a 2018 F350, 86 square body truck like yours, dually,
Cool. Uh-huh.
99 S10,
So like trucks.
2000 Trans Am.
Oh.
We got a large variety. Denali with a Pro Charger on it.
Mm.
It's whatever's there,
Yeah.
and whatever is convenient or whatever we need.
I've got a
Just
lot of
take
cars,
it.
but I drive my dually most of the time.
Yeah.
And I always talk about how I need to keep miles off of it because it's probably the last dually I'll ever buy.
That's
And I've made it so enjoyable to drive that it's what I want to drive, you know. But I don't know. I drive my wife's CTSV a lot, like more than what she does. And then, you know, I got the man van. I could drive it, you know. But if the weather's really nice, I have a 75 Caprice convertible that I like to drive.
So some cool stuff.
donk.
I mean, but that's what our lives are about. They're about automobiles, you know, and it's not just racing. It's I enjoy anything in automotive, you know.
So like until now on this cool path that you guys have talked to us a little bit and we see on the show stuff, is there anything, a moment or a situation particularly you guys recall that it's either like you guys just recall because it was strong or something that, you know, mark you guys, like something that happened?
I don't have those moments.
Really?
I mean, this whole adventure has been something we would have never thought in a million years we could do.
Sure.
So yeah, we're just on this big wave and we're riding it right to the end.
Yeah.
I think. I mean, I don't have nothing. All the wins. I mean,
Do you think some specific time, either you have luck to be, where do you see like you have like the right time or right thing you done to be on this?
I don't know. I mean, I always believe in luck, but I don't believe that this was luck for us. You don't fall into what we fell into because of luck. We got this for the passion that we have and for the drive that we have to be
You guys
what we are on the streets, you know, and we didn't even realize that it was something that was going to take us to where we're at now. We had so much passion to be the fastest. He had so much passion to beat me, you know. I had so much passion to beat everybody else, and then together as a group we had so much passion to beat any other group that comes in front of us.
pushed each other so
That we
much.
pushed each other to be so fast. That's not, I don't believe, I believe in luck. And I do believe that, you know, I've won, what, four cash days? How many have you won? Four or five? I believe that anybody who's won a cash days can tell you get a little bit of luck. You always fall into,
Yeah.
oh man, this dude had a little bit of problems, otherwise it would have been a good race. But we all do believe that we have the fastest cars out there. I do believe in luck in racing, but I don't believe that we're where we're at because of luck. I believe we're there because of our passion and our drive to be the best at what we're doing. And now we've always thought that what we do is the coolest thing out there. And it just so happens that somebody put a camera in front of us and everybody else thinks it's cool too.
Okay, so let's talk about cameras then. Like, this is something that people usually ask me because, like, sometimes they kind of like, should I ask, right? And it's good to talk about it. Like the show, we see something on TV, right? So Stevie, how much of that is actually true, and how much is actually like
Keep in
something
mind-
someone put together?
Keep in mind, we're all from Oklahoma. We're all not the smartest people there, and you cannot.
And we're not
script-
actors.
And we're not actors, and you can't script what happens or what we do.
Anybody who knows
It has
anything,
zero filter. Like, we don't know what's
Yeah.
going to come out of that thing.
I don't either until it comes out.
You know what I mean?
So now we can't be scripted. As far as the TV part goes, there's some stuff that we have turned up. Like when me, Chief, and Flip did the cop car stuff, and we busted Chuck. That all came from stuff that we've done before. You know, like when you do illegal shit that we do, and in Oklahoma City, it's not in in all reality, Oklahoma City's not a big place. And we only have a handful of good spots for us to race. Well, then you get young kids who come out and want to drift around parking lots, and people who drink and throw their beer cans down, and all that stuff throws up red flags to all the owners, the people that work in them places and stuff like that. And we don't like red flags. So we would go in something that resembles a cop car. We had a buddy who had like an old Chevy four-door Impala, looked like a security car. So we had some magnets made. We threw security on the side of it. We put a little light on the top of it, and we would sit out and secure our spots. That's how we did it. Like if anybody ever showed up, I mean, that's what I'm talking about, man. Determination, drives. This is things that normal people don't realize that you have to do to save these spots that we had. And anytime we'd see somebody come in a parking lot, and start fucking around or doing the stuff, that is going to get us run off, we'd pull up there and spotlight them, and man, they'd be gone, And so we would come up with ideas like this.
I bet it was fun too.
Yeah. Well, and then the producer's like, well, but we can't really do that because we don't know all those people. And if you run them off, then, if you're going to be on our show, you have to sign a waiver and all that stuff saying that you're going to be on there. Well, we couldn't really do that. That wasn't going to work. And so we sat around until we thought, well, Chuck's testing, let's go bust him, And so then the producer's like, okay, look, I know when he's testing, I know where he's testing, and that wasn't a deal.
Because the other crew was filming them.
Because the other crew's filming them, so that's how they know.
They have the waiver.
And so, it turned into what it turned into. Of course, we turned things up a little bit. Like, we went out and got a real cop car. We went out and, we never put on suits or we never dressed ourselves up or anything like that.
Fake
so,
mustaches.
of course, the fake mustaches and all that. That was just the fun of all of it. So, of course, we turn it up a little bit for TV. But when you get out to a race night, I can't think of anything that's not real. Like, you don't, the fights, the everything. When you get as much testosterone and as many grown-ass men
In one area.
alpha males in one area, and it's going to happen. Like, anybody who goes to racetracks knows that there's fights there, there's arguments there, and sometimes, like he said, we're dumb rednecks from Oklahoma. We take it a little bit further, and as far as throwing punches
Chuck's
or
attitude
spitting on people,
cost him a lot of money.
that's part of it.
People don't know that, but Chuck's been sued a lot over that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So there's nothing scripted about it.
No.
Like,
In
it's
fact,
cost a
he's
lot of
still, I think he's still in trouble over breaking out old dude's teeth.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Overthrowing hot coffee,
It's 100% real. I haven't seen any fights that were fake that were on there, especially at race night.
No.
All that stuff is real.
You're racing, so you guys want
We're
to
out there
right?
racing.
Yeah.
We're out there
win.
racing. We want to win, and there's 9 other guys out there that want the same thing. So,
Man, shit's gonna happen.
Man shit's gonna happen when you're out there in that environment.
You've been there. We took you to race night.
Yeah. I've been there. Actually, that was a really cool experience because, I see the show on TV, right? So when I go there and I can follow you guys up, from getting everything together, packing the trailer, driving to somewhere I never been, right? And then you go to it's a closed environment, but either way, it's your street. Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
For sure, there's nobody walking on that street, but it's your street.
It's a street.
Yeah, I walk on that thing. I can make sure that thing is a street. And that actually was pretty cool.
Well, there was a couple of times that we tried the airport stuff. It's never as good,
FAA gets involved, and it's not a deal.
and not to mention they groove it different, and it never hooks that well. And airports just, it takes everything away from it, whenever we go out of town, we love to race real street racers, and that's
Unreal
that
street.
list is getting pretty small, pretty thin, of people who have the caliber of cars that we do, that actually race on the street. So, but we love racing at known race spots and racing real people, and that's why it's getting harder and harder for us to go out of town and race.
So I know that you guys don't prep that place, right? But when I was there, there was the starting line was actually.
There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. It's gotten good. We've raced there a lot.
I think it's pretty good. So it's pretty much you guys race so much on the same spot that actually there's a rubber compound, let me say, sticking to the surface.
Oh yeah.
We can make it better by scraping it. But that would be prepping it.
Yeah.
So We
But you guys
actually
touch it.
don't. We actually
You
don't touch it
It's
at
just
all.
like it goes as it goes.
Mhm.
And some people spray something like before a run or something, or they used to do or something.
They don't
Just pour
spray
it out.
anything. They just pour it out, and we do a burnout in it.
Also, they pour out something, then you do burnout on top of that thing. You just leave.
Yep.
But you don't touch it. Like whatever was there
Is there.
after the burnout, before the burnout, and it is
Yeah.
what it is.
And
Yep.
one of the biggest questions, like, what those cars runs, what you guys run over those conditions?
Like at the street.
Out on the
On the
street.
street.
Yeah. Because you guys have data from the track, right?
Wait,
You guys
I-
can correlate. What do you guys think that runs on the street? Like what do you think was your guys like best
I've been
pass?
20s on that road. out there.
20s.
Oh yeah.
420s on the street.
I actually
180-ish.
think that there's been a couple of cars that've been a little bit faster than that. I think Ryan's probably been a little bit faster than that a couple of times. I think she's been a little bit faster than that a
And
couple
how
of
much
times.
speed do you guys think?
170s?
That's
Yeah,
hard.
because you
High
cannot,
70s, low 180s.
you cannot really
Oh,
haul
I
that
haven't
much
been.
in the top end.
I haven't been 180 nothing.
He barely does that.
I have to do all of mine short because I don't have the power that some of those guys. You know, I just got that little small block, so I don't have the power out the back door that those
Shoot
guys
either.
do.
Yeah,
So-
there's nothing small about it.
Everything that I do, I have to do in the 60 foot.
Can you
You
tell
know what I mean?
how small is the block?
It's 482.
Okay.
Not really a small block.
It's 482.
Not really a small block.
I remember one time first time you went with Galia 1.0 with Nitros,
Yeah.
and the first race, I think you won like 5 or 4 spots in the same night, something like that,
Yes. On the street.
on the street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many did we move up? I think 5 spots that night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
They just lined them up, just racing one after another.
Yep.
I remember that night. That
That was
good-
back before you had to worry about that dude calling you back out because he said
Right.
he didn't make a good pass or something like that. That could never happen now. Like, to move 2 spots in one night now would be amazing.
Oh yeah.
You know?
That's hard.
It's,
So
it's tough to do.
rules kind of change.
Yes.
As far as, yeah, if you beat me, I could call you back out right then.
Okay.
You know? And who doesn't call somebody back out if they just lost?
Yeah. How many episodes total you guys ever filmed?
Man, I don't know. It's been like 140 something, I think.
Is it?
As far as I know, yeah.
Because
It's
you
been a
140
lot.
something?
how many
It's over
seasons?
100.
How many seasons? You
They're 12.
13.
13.
We're
They-
filming 13
We're filming
now.
13. They've showed 12.
Because they showed MPK as season 14 this year,
Okay.
Different show.
which is a different show.
Different show. But yeah.
So, yes.
Of ours, they've showed 12 seasons and we're filming 13.
Yes. But it's still going, you
We
know?
got
It's-
many more to go.
From those 13, who are the guys that were number 1 in the end of the season? I mean, who won more times, or finished last more times?
Who's finished number 1
Yeah.
out of most of the seasons?
Probably Chief.
Depends on where they end it.
Yes, because it's
All they change
It's
as a season.
production's decision of where to end it and when to end it.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And
It
you
makes,
guys
they know how to
actually-
make good TV.
It's
Like,
pretty. It's
okay,
pretty.
okay, I
It's
see what you're
very
saying.
rare
I see
that they
what you're
say,
saying.
"Hey guys, this is the last episode
Also,
for
they,
sure."
They kind of
You
let
know.
you guys run free,
Mhm.
and then kind of in particular moment they decide, okay, this is the
Yeah.
season.
Yes.
Interesting.
Like if Ryan's sitting at number 1, they can be like,
yeah, that's
yeah, it's a good time to
That's
end
it.
it.
This is it, guys.
We're done.
This next list race was going to be for the beginning of next
Next season. You
So-
know, or if Chief's number 1, they'll be like, that's a good time to end it.
But-
Not taking nothing from them guys because we're all fast and we've all been
Yeah.
number 1 several
Yeah.
times.
But
So
some of those
it's
guys are
just
just
timing.
better at keeping the number 1 spot. You know, I mean, you can't slip up. You know,
Can't.
you always have to be on your game, and
And it's hard
And-
to try new things because
Yeah.
you don't know what's going to
Yeah.
do. You know
and to be
what I
honest
mean?
with you, I've been struggling with the new car on the list, and we haven't had a good season yet.
Where are you currently sitting? Order Nova?
Yeah. I mean, you can't get any lower than what I am. So, you know, nowhere to go but off the list for me right now.
Or
So
up.
it's
Number 1?
it's been pretty rough.
Me?
Yeah.
I don't even know. No. I think Monza is.
Oh yeah, Monza is number 1.
I think Monza's 1.
Oh yeah.
Ryan and then me, I think. I think Chief is lower than me now.
I don't know.
We're fixing to cut.
All I know is I'm number 10, and it sucks.
The
So,
game.
but I don't think that it'll be like that when we go back. I had some issues and I think we've got them lined out now. So the car was twisting pretty bad. Car wasn't going straight. I think we got a pretty good handle on it now.
And related to electronics, right?
No.
Because we know you guys, right?
Mhm.
After, right? So when you guys made the switch, I remember back on the Nitro Steel, you know,
Yep.
we dynoed the motor, then we went to the track.
That was a
the
bad
whole-
ordeal.
the whole 9 yards, right? And then, like you, I remember when we were with Chief, right, to the track, and you still were running a different thing there, and then
Mhm.
you went to Fuel Tech. But like from you guys' perspective, right? How that changed when you guys move along and progress to electronics and move to Fuel Tech?
You were fuel injected before.
Yes.
Before anybody.
Like I was carbureted. That's all I knew.
I'm pretty sure I was fuel injected before anybody.
Right.
But when the show started, I still had a carburetor.
Oh yeah.
I had a Pro Charger with a carburetor on it.
Yeah.
And so then I knew a guy who was selling, you know, big stuff, and I got a
Can't say
good
that.
deal.
We can't say that.
Why? I can talk about how much junk it was.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, and I knew a guy who was selling it, and it was one of those deals that it was a pretty good deal. It was cheap. We had never messed with fuel injection before, but we knew that the carburetor was holding us back. You know, we went 470s. We went 470s when we were running 470s when the show first started. There wasn't another car on the show that was running anywhere near that. Like, we could go to the track with that carburetor and consistently run 470s with the OG car. And I was 2-3 tenths faster than anybody else out there, you know? And
Because a gold car would run 490s back then.
yeah. And that
Then I
was
started driving a Sonoma, and the best that truck ever went was a 471.
Yeah.
Later in the game.
yeah, not then though.
Not then, no.
You
It
know,
was a
and so-
solid 490 truck.
So we knew that the carburetor was, we were not going to go any faster than this with that carburetor, you know, and whenever it was, 06, 07, something like that.
Yep.
When we take the carburetor off the OG.
2012. Whenever
Really?
the show started.
Yeah, well,
Ugh. So,
For 2020 already.
19.
Yeah.
Yeah.
ugh.
2012.
Time's
Yeah.
fly.
That's
Yeah.
about 12.
So, anyways, you know, and then once Chief got into the Fuel Tech, you know, I think he was the first car to put it on
Yeah.
there. Like the first car in the U.S., right?
I'm not sure if it was the first one, but it was one of the very first.
It was close.
But it was-
Because he was right before, because Larry Larson was supposed to be
Yeah,
the first
like
one.
it was like a couple
But Chief
cars.
went like a month
about the same
before. Yes.
Zone, you know, the time
Yes.
zone. I don't remember.
We
that.
had the Proline testing the dyno on the dyno with Chris Foley
Yeah.
engines. That was the very first engine with dyno, a V8.
Twin turbo 670
Yeah, then
Proline.
Keith Berry actually got their cars too. Both guys had that one.
Yes.
Then Chief called it
Chief.
Oxy and
Yep.
Yeah,
started
because
over
I
there.
remember even that testing when I went to test with Chief. We went to test with Chief. You were there testing, and Keith Berry was testing too.
Mhm.
And Keith already had Fuel Tech on the car, but it was exactly the same, you know, moment.
Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, like I've said, I'm definitely not a computer guy. I don't feel like I'm a tuner at all. But once you see everything that you can do with the Fuel Tech, I mean, it does more. It's better than just taking the complex part of tuning away. It takes weight out of the car. I don't have any other boxes in my car now except the Fuel Tech, and I had everything in there. Like I had 4 or
Ignition
5
boxes.
different ignition boxes. I had
Oil.
stuff to data log. I had a dash, you know, from something else, and now it's all in one. So it saves weight. It's reliable. Everything. You don't have to worry about other things talking to other things. You know.
Mhm.
I mean, it's just some of the easy stuff that I like about it, and it makes it to where dummies like me can have fast shit, you know, and not always rely on somebody else. Like, you can't, it's tough to be where we're at and do the things that we do when I never know when I'm going to be racing, where I'm going to be racing, and if you have to take a tuner with you all the time,
That's rough.
you put yourself in a bad position, you know.
Okay,
Okay.
Villa Park. it's getting. You know, like people already testing today. We're gonna be there tomorrow and Sunday. What do you guys think about that? Like, what are you guys expecting to see? Like, what kind of race you guys thinking that's gonna happen? Because I try to tell you guys something, but at the same time, you know, I want to leave you guys like to imagine, like from what you guys seeing, like people reacting to social media and trying to talk to you guys about Villa Park and the race. What do you guys think?
I mean,
We're both Nova fans.
yeah, I mean,
So
we're gonna be fans of the Palas and the Opala. What is it?
Yeah,
Opala.
Opala.
Opala. And not the Golfs. What are they?
The Gull.
The Gull.
Gull.
Yeah. I mean, anything that we can see here that we can't go to our local track and check out is what I want to see. You know.
I think it's all
I
gonna be
mean,
like that.
Who wouldn't be a fan of the Opala? Who's a Nova fan? That's all it is. It's the Brazilian version of a Nova.
Yeah.
You know. So I want to see. And I want to see some of the stuff that people do down here, because I know that where we're from, we're racers, and when you don't have the money, you make the things work.
That's exactly.
I want to see what the people down here do to make things work. You know, I mean, it doesn't have to be necessarily right. I feel like with what we do, there's not right and wrong. There's do what you got to do to get your shit down the track. You know, and I want to see some of the stuff that these guys do. Like, I want to see, like, whoa, he thought that was going to work. You know, that's the shit that I want to do.
And it does work.
Because I've had a bunch of people look at my car and go, "Oh my God, you can't do that." And I'm like, "Why not?" You know, we have been doing it.
Me,
I'm not
like,
asking you.
You can't put Phantom in that car.
Yeah. I'm not asking you if I can do that or not. We've already done it. You know, so. I want to see some stuff like that, and I want to see, you know, how fast they can go with this stuff that
I want to see
is
the six
little
cylinders.
cubic inch.
Yeah.
You
They'll
know,
make as much power as
then-
most of the V8s
Yeah.
over there, you know?
Yeah.
Y'all
I mean,
are doing it with 4 cylinders and 6 cylinders. It's amazing.
it
I wanna
truly
see that.
shows that weight has so much to do with it. Power to weight ratio.
Is it?
You know, I mean, they may not be making the power that we do, but they're running the times that we are.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They don't
You
weigh
know.
what we do.
We
Yeah,
just
wait
had
a minute.
one of the most famous Brazilian races, Kaká Daud. He just ran a 399 on the 8th mile with a 4-cylinder in
That's
the
awesome.
US.
That's awesome.
We struggle to do that with V8s.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah.
But you know, some of us are fat. You know, and could
Speaking for himself.
possibly lose some weight. You know, so but weight has a lot to do with it. You know, and I'm anxious to see, you know, the type of racing and the.
You know, if we
the-
stay over here much longer, we're going to add more weight. 'Cause
Yeah.
The food is amazing.
You know, nobody's
You guys
gonna,
like it?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
The food is amazing.
nobody's gonna want me to drive their car.
No.
They're gonna be like, no, not the fat one. We want Dave. We want Dave in my car. I just need to go find some fat dude out there. You know, somebody who I can fit in his car. You know, maybe even be a little bit smaller than him, because you know there's somebody out there that's
Oh,
as
yeah.
fat as me
Yeah.
who's out there racing. So that's who I'm gonna find.